Hello, I'm Roisin Hastie with the BBC News. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is holding a series of meetings with the War Cabinet and government ministers to discuss a proposed deal to free hostages held in Gaza. Before the meeting, Mr. Netanyahu said the Israeli security establishment supported the deal. More from Tom Bateman in Jerusalem.
They have to sign off on the detail of this hostage proposal that's on the table. Now, a senior Israeli official telling the BBC tonight that this includes a proposal to release around 12 hostages per day in return for a 4-day ceasefire. Now, elsewhere, it's reported that on the Israeli side, there will be a release of up to 150 Palestinian prisoners, and also, as part of that ceasefire, a procedure to allow more humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip.
The French medical organisation Médecins Sans Frontières says 3 doctors have been killed in an attack on a hospital in northern Gaza, including 2 of its own. Dr. Natalie Roberts works with the agency.
MSF works in that hospital providing surgical care, so reconstructive surgery and trauma surgery for adults and for children. It's one of the last functioning hospitals in northern Gaza. Our 2 doctors were working on the 3rd and 4th floors of the hospital when the hospital came under attack and they were killed.
A spokesperson added that more than 200 patients remain in Al Auda without medical care and urgently need to be evacuated. The chief executive of Binance, Changpeng Zhao, has stepped down and is to pay a $50 million fine after pleading guilty to violating US anti-money laundering rules. The company has admitted that it failed to prevent criminal actors from using the exchange. Erin Delmore reports from New York.
Binance will pay a $4.3 billion fine. The company will accept the appointment of a monitor. The company pled guilty to knowingly failing to prevent money laundering and sanctions violations on its side and allowing criminal actors to use the exchange, named by Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen as including Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and Hamas. Attorney General Merrick Garland said that Binance prioritized its profits over the safety of the American people and became the largest crypto exchange in part because of the crimes it committed.
North Korea says it successfully put a military spy satellite into space. The state news agency said the satellite had accurately entered orbit. The United States described the launch as a brazen violation of United Nations sanctions that risked destabilizing the region. Earlier, Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida strongly condemned the launch of a rocket that flew over Japan's Okinawa prefecture and on towards the Pacific Ocean. North Korea has twice tried this year and failed to put a military satellite into orbit. Microsoft says it will match the pay of any staff who join it from the beleaguered artificial intelligence firm OpenAI. The offer comes after almost all OpenAI employees threatened to quit if the former CEO Sam Altman and co-founder Greg Brockman aren't reinstated. OpenAI is best known as the creator of the chatbot ChatGPT. On Monday, it was reported that Microsoft, one of OpenAI's main investors, hired Sam Altman. The Ethiopian government says the latest round of peace talks with the rebel Oromo Liberation Army, or OLA, has failed to end with an agreement. One of the government's negotiators, Redwan Hussein, blamed the OLA, accusing it of making unrealistic demands. Kalkadan Yibatal reports.
The OLA, which rejects accusations by the authorities of targeting civilians, is yet to remark on the failure of the negotiations. Ethiopia saw a brutal civil war in Tigray end with a peace deal signed more than a year ago. But in its 2 largest regions, Oromia and Amhara, the government is battling armed groups. Civilians have been paying the heaviest prices in conflict-affected areas, and there are fears they might continue to do so.
A prolonged drought in northeastern Spain is getting worse, with local officials warning that Barcelona might start relying on fresh water deliveries by boat. 3 years with very little rain have left Catalonia's reservoirs at just 19% capacity, with national average more than twice that. The regional environment minister said that was Catalonia's worst drought since local records started being kept around a century ago. Police in the Netherlands are warning residents of a southern city that an extremely venomous 2-metre-long green mamba snake is on the loose. They've told people to stay indoors and, under no circumstances, attempt to ensnare the serpent. The police add the snake isn't seeking confrontation and is unlikely to go outside in the cold. BBC News.